Hello, everybody. This afternoon I had the opportunity to go over to Peoria with Kevin Brown and check out Michael Broshears' Great Lakes and Southern in-scale layout. Had a fun time, fantastic layout. 800 square feet of in-scale layout. Structures were phenomenal. Some were kit bashed, a few scratch builds, some older kits, but overall, wow, what a layout. I didn't even really get much time to run one train, do little ops with one train. I think someday in the future, Kevin and I will go back and we'll do a little bit more, because we won't do the tour as much. We'll just come over to do ops, and we'll have more time to run different locos and maybe bring some of ours next time we visit. But what a fun time. So I'll show you some videos and some photos of some of the structures. He'll take me around and explain some of the structures in his layout. I'll show you some things in his layout. I'll be doing an op session with some Illinois Central engines. Pardon the camera work a little bit because I was holding the camera in one hand, throttle in the other, but it was really fun. Just amazed at this layout. It is of the Peoria area. He tries to be prototypical of the Peoria area and the railroads in it. And I think I asked him how many locos he has on the layout. 130. 130. It's 3 levels, which is amazing. I think there's 2 helixes. I believe he said he had 3, but I definitely saw 2 helixes and ran up one of them. I think I put that in this video as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this video a lot. We definitely had a lot of fun, and it's going to be a long one. There'll be, like I said, some video and photos. So I'll put a link to Kevin's channel, who went with me. I think you all know him, and Michael's channel. A lot of you know him. If you haven't subscribed to either one, please do so. Kevin does the T-Track module stuff with his layout, which is great. And, of course, Michael has this layout. Once you see it, go to his channel, subscribe. So, thanks, guys, and enjoy the video. Well, this is Michael Broshears, Great Lakes and Southern layout. So we're going to start with a tour around here. Let's start this end here.
That's the Paps Grits plant.
Now, what kits are what kits is this made out of?
These are model power kits.
Okay.
And I just got a bunch of them. And then I think these are DPM, just the wall panels, pieces for the modular.
Okay. I like how you integrated that into the stairwell. That's pretty cool. How long have you been working on this layout?
It's been about 8 years.
8 years?
Probably going on 9.
Wow. Now, how many locomotives do you think you have in scale?
On the layout? On the layout, I've probably got about 130-ish.
And about how many pieces of rolling stock do you think you got in your collection?
Probably a couple thousand anyway.
I bet. Yeah, gotta be.
That's the Wabco, the old Laterno. Now it's Komatsu, where they make the big mining trucks.
So, is this made out of the Walters? Is it the back shop kit?
Back shop, car shop.
Car shop. Okay, because this is how I want to do mine. My old engine house. And I would guess, is this just the same thing? Go Google an empty warehouse and use it for the inside.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Except for mine's going to be closed and roached out because it was kind of roached out when I did it.
There is a track behind all that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that was the purpose of the large, long industry, because this is supposed to be the line coming from East Peoria to get over here to Bridge Junction, but it wouldn't have, it would have come into Peoria further south, but that line goes back to my helix.
Now, these are on my hot list of to get pieces of rolling stock if I ever find. Because someday I'll get an. I just bought on eBay. I was just showing Kevin. A guy had some ICG and IC stuff. 5 cars, $30. The caboose is an ICG, which is impossible to find in N scale unless you want to pay bucks for the Atlas Trainmaster one, which they go outrageous. I don't know what it is. I think it's an Atlas that the guy hand painted, and then the rest are microtrain pieces of rolling stock. No boxes, but I got them for $30, and they're all in great shape. I couldn't let that go by.
Well, somewhere around on the layout is an IC caboose, and I think it might be custom painted. I don't know.
There's a split IC here, the Santa Fe style.
Nah, that's not the one. It's like a
Wide vision?
wide vision.
Now, this is a backdrop of Peoria, guys. This is actually downtown Peoria. Did somebody make this one, or
It's I got it from Valley Roundhouse. It's printed. I believe it's actually I was told Pittsburgh.
because that looks like the Pierre Marquette building?
Yeah, that's kind of why once I put it in there, people from Peoria believe it's Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these buildings look very, very similar. They just laid all these in, reconfigured this over the last week.
Ah. You doing more and more unitrack switches? You really like the Kato stuff, or just because they're available?
They seem to work pretty good.
I've had good luck with them.
The Atlas, I've found that over time, because they've got this weird little rivety split rivet thing for the point rails, that they will start to lose conductivity.
Okay. That's supposed to be a common thing with Picos too, but it's because of the little shoe that goes underneath, and once that gets all icky, it just doesn't work very well. I like that yard. That yard's amazing. Now this is you. What's the name for this yard?
Averyville,
Averyville.
which it was a small community in the north end of Peoria.
That's why Holt came here, right? Because of
Yeah.
they had there was a history of heavy industry here.
Oh, I just like looking at some of these rolling stock pieces because they're like on my wish I had list.
Well, you've been into N scale. Wow.
Since about 68-ish.
Yeah, so you've been collecting a long time. Oh, you're in a map in the MSA now. Oh, yeah, St. Paul. Did they go through Ames or not? St. Paul would be that one. I don't recognize any of the places. That's Minnesota. No wonder. Robert Lee.
Most of the industries and the buildings on the layout are actual industries.
All right, so this is this the Roberts printing kit from?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna come back and take some pictures of that because that's my next industry building I want to build for my little bit of industry yard. So I'm gonna look at that a little bit closer. So I told Kevin I'm gonna wait, kind of finish that side till I get my building from Vinny, and I can kind of build my engineering around that and finish the rest of that industrial yard around it, depending on how kind of real estate it takes up. But
I just added the silos in there
Very nice.
yesterday.
Home built, or those the?
It's the Walthers. And I tore up.
That scene turned out really impressive.
I tore up the end of this peninsula, cleared all the track all the way down around the corner, just to put this in, because this was CB&Q alley tracks in kind of right in downtown Peoria.
I hear this is fun to switch. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Switching in out here is very challenging. Oh, I love the way that turned out.
There's a magazine picture of that.
Very impressive.
It's my car, even.
Uh-oh. Is that the evidence of trespassing? Is that
That
what
was
this is?
Steve Smedley took the.
Oh, that's fine. Steve's a good guy.
mm-hmm.
Go by. No, you have continuous running, right? You can keep a train.
Yeah.
Lots of going through around that.
Yeah, I had a double track continuous loop, and I kind of converted it to single track behind the B yard. 'Cause I had no more room to add in from
No,
the industry,
yeah.
so
Something had to give, huh?
I stole it.
And this is the BN yard?
Yeah, this is the Peoria BN yard. So it gets cramped down there.
No, yeah, I'll stay out of the way too. We can follow. What is your attempted your standard for an aisle width? I knew it. You trying for 3 foot or?
I started with 3 foot as a minimum, and I've added a foot on here and a foot on the other side.
Wow.
It's usually the easiest place to get real estate.
You know, I think mine's a great size, and then mine's just like a fraction, not even a fraction of this. I'd be lost for
9 years, and this is
wow.
the second incarnation I know of it. Was there an earlier one than?
It was the one when I lived on Steiner.
Yeah. That wasn't that one.
It was smaller than this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but half the size. It's that. But it's still a wonderful size. Yeah. That's where you first put a big yard in. That was really impressive to see that. And how much room a real yard takes up. Adam Street. Baby train masters?
There, I don't know if you can reach that.
What you
Plug her in.
Any idea how many scale miles you got around your loop?
I'm trying to think. It was 225 feet.
Wow. So at 33 per, that'd be like 8 scale miles, is that right? 200 how many feet?
At least 225.
25.
I put 8 cases of track on the layout, and I'm still adding. So
You stuck with code 83? You never thought about going to 55?
I'm actually thinking about any new turnouts. I might try Code 55.
Oh,
I had one, and I don't know if I still have it.
it could be on here somewhere, huh? I don't know. I think if you paint the rails, you know, the difference visually between the two are not that great. And you've got an enormous
I mean,
investment in
this where this is all painted and scenic.
these. That's gorgeous. Something I should talk to.
Between the two main staging yards, I can hold about close to 1,000 cars.
Wow. Now, how many helixes do you have?
Two.
Two. Okay. Because I thought I saw one over there too.
Underneath the stairs, I actually have a one-turn helix.
Okay. Wow.
So that would be the third if you count one turn.
So that's
This
Adams
goes
Street over
down.
there, Adams Street Yard, and this is
Now you're coming into Bartonville.
Below runs back there. Wow.
It's kind of cool, Sterling Steel and Wire in the news. I mean, it looks like they're going to be expanding. Oh, this might be the.
Yeah.
We got a big dog.
Okay, and there's the coil loads. I'm gonna have to look at that wire, see if that's the same stuff I've got. Because of my future upcoming, one of my Tuesday shows, I've got this one and I've got that Burlington one. So my goal is to take this and roach it out like a Penn Central car and put some of these coil loads in there. Because I don't know if that's an older Atlas. I don't know if it's prototypical or not. I can't find a coil car with that top like that anywhere. That came with that kit, and I still have that top on there. And I said I just want to take the top off, roach the inside, rust it, and make it look like Penn Central, and throw a load in there. And
You got some nice loads in
there's a cool idea right there.
That was the project you were talking about, kind of melting and bending the sides, and I was using a heat gun, not like a hair dryer. It got too hot.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice caboose. That's the Trainmaster one that I find on eBay. People sell that for like up to $70. I mean, it's so hard to come by, but
Is that a Walters overhead crane or should we?
That's it. It's a Walther's, but I can't remember what it went to or.
and here's another back shop kit. This is a double one. That's pretty cool. I've seen a lot of people do that, but now this looks like the Walters steel mill kit, which these are gold to some people, and they're expensive.
I have a feeling this can look scratch built to me.
It kind of does. I saw DJ's Trains do one just like
I
that,
know.
the scratch build. But these structures here are just really nice, really nice.
I like the use of the background buildings to try and show that it's a.
Yeah.
I should say that. Yeah.
And I really like the way his rails over here look. Man, this looks so good over here. This almost looks like the Adams Street yard today.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, if we're going to make the turn back there, you see the main go off here. Lumber loads and pipe loads.
I switched this area out once, and it's amazing how much time it took. It's really cool. I think those background hills are new too.
Mm-hmm. See, these are some parts, guys, you have not seen on video. Because there's so much of this, he would have to do an actual walk around. It would take, as I said, I'm already almost 20 minutes in.
Huh.
So yeah, we're going to go through the other side now.
There's a little bit here. Well, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So still working on this area. This is a nice area here too. We'll go around the wall here. Wow, and this is the other helix.
This room I didn't really do a whole lot of videoing on my tour.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did. I think your first video was kind of up here.
Yeah, it was on the upper.
So that's where it continues when you go underneath the stairs and start all over, right?
Hurry, guys.
Huh. And you just started working on the second lower level, right?
Yeah, I've got a track laid all the way over.
And there, the other side we just went on. But yeah, this is 3 levels in here. Wow.
It's kind of I think it's kind of a unique twist I'm gonna do is that you would be able to run. You're gonna start upper level to simulate either Minneapolis or Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You just run along the outer walls, come in through this hole, and come down onto the layout. If you're south or north, then you go the appropriate direction.
Oh, I see.
And then you'll come back to the helix and then go down and continue on the lower level.
Hmm.
But during an op session for the upper level, you won't really switch on the lower level because there's just going to be too many places to be, people on 2 levels trying to switch.
I think that was it. I think it started in the back. So. And then we're back to where we started. So, wow. How many square feet total, do you think?
800.
800. Wow.
Club in Davenport, the HO Club,
Uh-huh.
when they had to tear their layout down, they sold off all their buildings. And so I got this down here is also a Sidem HO building. And a couple other places there are plastic HO buildings. One's at Pabst Brewery.
That's very impressive. It looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard of people trying to modify the HO steel mill building because you can get those, and it's just a matter of fudging some. Usually, there's not a lot of windows and doors anyway, so that makes it a little easier. Very impressive. Do you follow DJ's trains at all on YouTube? He's amazing, and he loves his whole layout is all about steel mills.
This has a little bit of detail to it. I think some added, which looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think the original one is just basically this building, so this is all extra detail. But
Now, this detail stuff here is HO locomotive air tanks and piping,
huh?
as are these here.
Yeah, look like torpedoes,
Roof,
don't they?
the roof tanks for Jeeps in HO.
Now is this one a scratch build or is this one a kit?
It's a kind of a kit bash. It's a
Bash,
pike
okay.
stuff for bricks.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Those are great
Those are-
structures.
yep.
I love those things. Very flexible.
I kind of bashed up the doorway, the cushions.
Mm-hmm. Makes it nice and distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had one of the places I worked at, they had put in those there, so it was foam with a kind of a nog-eyed covering.
I've seen them at what on the truck side of it, truck or loading docks, where they do stuff like that. Huh.
Well, it's the steepest grade on the was the steepest grade on the Northwestern. It was also the steepest grade for the M and St. L,
Is that what it is?
which they called Maxwell.
Mm. The last I talked to you, you were debating changing your car forwarding system. Are you giving a thought to that, or are you going to stick with what you got?
For the time being, I'm going to stick with it.
I was kind of wondering if you were to go to a traditional car cart, say these would give you all your routings, it would be pretty easy to translate, but the number of cards you need is ferocious, frightening even.
Well, what I had originally thought was my first waybill I drew up had 27 routes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I thought I was going to sit down and I have to fill them all out. And I said, I won't have to fill nothing out for years.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I said I couldn't coordinate or keep track of what was moving. And if not everything moves, then you can end up really getting overloaded or, heavy on one end.
Yeah. It's almost like you would need this giant, I don't know, matrix, some big spreadsheet to keep track of where everything is on each move. You assume you've got the old, how to operate a model there, but it's the Sunset Valley was the main thing. What's the
Bruce
guy?
Chubb.
Chubb. And it always kind of disappointed me that every fourth operating session is repeated. But he said nobody ever notices because everybody gets a different job every time and all that.
I have, from a lazy standpoint, I've taken cars and just whatever was the previous move, I just reverse it.
Oh, yeah, back and forth, yeah.
And that way I don't got to think of something. And heck, I never even notice it until you start looking at the waybill.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have a lot of captive service where you'll take one product from one industry on your layout and take it to another industry on your layout? Or is it mostly in and out kind of stuff?
The one concept that Roger and I had tried to work on was trying to make as many moves where a car would do that, would go from one industry on the layout to yet another industry on the layout. Now, I don't know how prototype that might be in any, like maybe certainly Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But we've tried to, some cars you can, like a covered hopper could be, with chemicals, so you can take that to another plant that's working with chemicals.
Mm-hmm. And here you've got all this brewing and grain hauling for that. You can do a lot with that. Because mine is simply in and out. Stuff comes on the layout, goes to the industry, then gets the heck off the layout from that industry, which is easy. But there's so much
The way
potential
I'm
for
designing
more.
mine is, to go from industry into that little staging yard I have, onto a train, onto the main line, to just, it's a prototypical, like run to wherever they're going. And
Well, most every op session is something new as in the way of the system or how I'm running the layout, because I'm continuously searching for a better way.
Evolving, which is
And what I found was I started to run into gridlock.
You're
And-
saying particularly your main yard, right?
Yeah, the main yard, it really needs 2 operators, an A yard and a B yard operator. And you could actually use a hostler.
Wow.
And I've only really been able to get, sometimes only 3 people
Mm-hmm.
for a session. You invite 10 or 12,
Yeah.
and depending on NMRA meets or train shows or whatever, or the weather, you end up with just a handful. But you can run it with 2 or 3 people. So I think I have 27 switch jobs.
Wow.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm kind of familiar with what Alan's doing. He has 10 jobs, some of which are straight through. They don't do a darn thing. So, but for that size layout, it's not bad. That's a lot of stuff. 27 different switch jobs. Wow.
I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 68 industries,
Wow.
and I'm still.
And they're not tiny.
No, they're not. No.
Well, I forget what the car count was for Allied Mills, because that has a first shift and a second shift job.
Mhm.
I guess I've switched that out before. That's a challenge. That's a lot going on just right there.
Mhm. There's some ideas for that expansion someday.
Yeah.
For industries.
Well, you've got quite a bit more room to work with. I mean,
Yeah.
assuming you can get the right-of-way negotiation.
Of course, hit the record button. Actually, gets it to work too.
I didn't know that. Tell you what, I wish I could say I've never had that happen again. Yeah, oh yeah.
So this is a train that I'm kind of running here on the main line and recording at the same time. So I'm gonna try to get in a good position and get a nice shot of it coming by here. How's this? These guys are coming in on the ground here. Most of it be on it so they can't turn it. You can only control it over here. With the 9 oh, you yeah, a couple people use crossovers too. Not on the throw internally, right?
Oh.
So you turn out the switch pointer throwing, but the electrical's not.
Oh.
Not
So
all
the
the way.
live
I think so.
Yeah. Oh God, no, I'm sorry, the people, so they're kind of so they're just set up to be power routed.
Well, too late now because that one's glued in. But headlight come on. Controls. Station. Or command station. Well, one or the other.
Yeah, I couldn't tell that.
Might be the universal is in the command station. And then the advanced gets done in on the decoder.
Yeah, but from my understanding, it's some of it, the information is on the decoder using some in the command station.
The one way you can take them